Um, I don't know. I'm speechless. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your December soul session. I am Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And whatnot or whatever. I keep changing that up and I have no idea why I keep doing that. But anywho, if you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality and mine, but they're yours now, spirituality and personal development readings, where we look at the energies that you guys may be facing for the month and trying to offer you a little bit of guidance or clarity or advice on how to deal with said energetic situations and whatnot or whatever. Hopefully you guys watched the collective reading, because the information that comes out there will be very helpful for you here, my friend, being that we are getting ready for the good old 2021 and whatnot or whatever. And everybody hopefully is doing their end of year reviews and things of the sort. So anywho, we have a central energy, a challenge, past influence, future possibilities, okie dokie, above energy and below energy, my friends. But first, let's see what is at the bottom of your deck. Interesting. We have the strength in the reverse. So Pisces, it's looking like for the month of December, you guys are not taming the beast is taming you, my friend. And that is Leo energy, by the way. So more or less what this is really speaking to is our inherent human desires and things of the sort. Every facet of our humanity, if you will, primal instincts and all that good stuff and whatnot or whatever. These things are ruling pretty strong, right? So more or less, this is the energy that's undergirding what we're going to be getting to in your cards in just a moment. But the thing that I feel is important to note here is to be cognizant of, and not necessarily saying, because this is an undergirding energy, so it's more or less alluding to potential pitfalls for this month, if you will. So if you find yourself in somewhat of a challenging situation, the important point here is not to regress back into reactionary behaviors and things of the sort. You want to make sure that you're leading through your encounters with people this month from your higher self and not your lower self, if that makes sense, my friends. So hold on. I just want to look at the card and make sure I'm not missing anything. No, nothing else really speaks to me. Nope, not yet. Okay, central energy. Ooh, we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. This is challenged by the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, first thing that comes to me, Pisces, which is a pretty practical message. There's the potential this month that you guys may not be working as much, or your work could be cut back, which is odd because typically you would think during the holiday season you would be working more hours or have the opportunity to do so at least. But I feel in this, for some of you guys, may be kind of a heads up. Be careful of how it is that you're spending your money, because I get the feeling that for some of you guys, it may be spending too much money, like letting money burn in your pockets or letting money slip through your fingers. And I don't know if that would be in the form of a Christmas bonus or, you know, just wilding out Cyber Mondays and things of the sort, or just holiday shopping. But I feel that like work is going to get cut back. So it's kind of like having a consistent stream of revenue. And this stream of revenue, not saying that it would be completely cut out, it's just it's something with it where it's going to get cut back somehow. So I would just say, like, with your shopping during this holiday season, and I mean, this is something I talk about every year. So I'm going to throw this in here, Pisces, so you guys could put this in your back pocket. Because back in the day, before I was a therapist, I worked at marketing and then I owned a marketing firm, right? So I did, you know, marketing, advertising, things of the sort. The thing that a lot of big advertising companies bank on is this elusive nature within humanity, to where we push things off to the last minute. And them making money off of that. So it's kind of like for Christmas time, like we're in now, people will spend a whole bunch of money on gifts for, you know, their kids, family members, spouses, partners, what have you, right? And be in the hole at the start of the year. Now, Christmas is on the same day every single year. You know what I'm saying? It's always on the 25th of December. So one could, and this may be a goal you guys may want to set for next year. I don't know how Pisces reading is starting out like this, but let's just go with it. But a goal you may want to set for yourself in 2021 is to start saving for Christmas in January, because it takes a lot of stress off of you and it keeps you from being in, you know, the red come January. So if you save a little bit of money, or at your bank or credit unions, they usually have Christmas clubs where, you know, if you have like a paycheck that gets direct deposited, I love how this just became financial advice, but if you have a check that gets direct deposited, it's like a percentage you can take out of your check every 2 weeks or however often you get paid, and you can put it into your Christmas club account. So when Christmas comes, you already have money set aside for that, right? Because I feel for you guys, it's something that you're overspending on. That's typical this time of year. But the biggest challenge for you guys is almost like you're spending money that you think you have, or you're spending money that you didn't get yet, and you're spending like you have it, or you're spending in a way that you think that the stream of revenue is going to be consistent, and it's like a little hiccup with that. So be mindful of that, Pisces. That is just so interesting how that went that way. Another thing I could say with this, looking at the strength in the reverse, is kind of getting caught in just holiday spirits, you know, and just falling into things. But this is all centralized around money. It's just, you know, overspending stuff, or kind of losing sight of what it is your financial goals are or were. And, you know, kind of cutting back on, it's like this meticulous vibe I get. It's almost like I'm feeling, and this is the message transitioning from that first message, but it's like, it's almost like a person who is a Pisces person who's very meticulous with stuff. Like, I don't know if this is like a project work or what have you, but it's still that same vibe, but this just isn't about money. It's almost kind of getting sloppy with stuff, but you had a clear goal in mind that you guys were heading towards, but it's almost like you're losing momentum, you're losing steam, and it's like, I don't want to use sloppy because it just sounds like such a bad word. I just don't like how it sounds. Kind of like how moist sounds. So sorry for everybody that freaks out. It's how sloppy sounds to me. But it's like, I don't know. It's almost like you guys were very meticulous and perfectionists about something, but it's almost like your work is starting to wane. So be mindful of that. That's another side message. You guys, past influence coming out of November into December, we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So this is interesting. Something did not pan out the way that you guys had hoped. Okay, so here's the deal. Pisces, your reading is already very interesting to me. Okay, something did not pan out the way that you guys had hoped. And so I don't know if you guys may already know about this, like that whole money situation, because it's almost like, you know, being, okay, that all ties in together. So opportunity comes in for a Pisces. This is hypothetical because I'm just trying to read this energy signature that I'm seeing so I don't lose my brain. It's like a Pisces person had high hopes for something panning out a particular way, right? It doesn't pan out the way that one hoped for it to. And I don't know why I want to say, like, maybe if you were about to get, I don't know, some type of settlement or lawsuit money or something like that, and you ended up getting far less than you expected. And again, this is just hypothetical for me to get this energy signature out. And because this thing didn't pan out to the level that you thought it would, it becomes discouraging. And that's what becomes the trigger with the strength and the reverse energy. So it's almost like a person who is very meticulous and orderly about something. And, you know, you're working the whole steps of this process. You're ensuring that you do everything properly because there's this big payoff. So one thought. Things didn't pan out the way that you hoped. And it's almost like just, you know, throwing everything to the side, like, you know, F it, you know what I'm saying? And now it's no longer approaching whatever this is in this meticulous vibration. It's almost falling back into one's, you know, proverbial animalistic instincts in a sense. That's interesting. Underlying energy. Okay, we have the Magician in the reverse as Aries energy in Uranus. Your above energy is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Pisces, what is happening in America? With the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, you guys are in a state of completely reevaluating. So, okay, the whole blanket statement for what this is a disappointment here. It's almost like the wind being taken out of somebody's sails is what this is looking like for me, Pisces. It's having a lot of high hopes into something and it not panning out the way that you wanted it to. And now it's like you're completely questioning everything. But it's like the vibe I'm seeing with this, it's like, and I want to say drinking. I mean, I guess I could pull that out of the Ace of Cups in the reverse, but I mean, not really, but that's really the vibe I get because of what I'm seeing right now. It's like a person who, and I have to keep saying, like they were on the straight and narrow, not saying this person has a drinking problem or anything, but they were on the straight and narrow doing everything right for this thing that you were working towards. And this not working out, it hit you pretty hard. And it's like, I'm seeing a person who's just like drinking and is just like bump it, like, you know what I'm saying? Why am I even worried about this? Like type of deal. So it's kind of being really down and out here with the, wow. And then we have the Hierophant in the reverse going forward. That's Taurus energy. This is interesting, dude. This would be the equivalent to me of, and I don't mean this literally, but metaphorically, it's like a person who loses their religion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion. That's literally the vibe I have with this. It's, and I said this with Sag, where I said it's like, you know, them working the program, but not letting the program work for them. But it's like with this Piscean energy that I'm seeing, is like a Pisces person who worked the proverbial program and the program didn't work for them. And because the program didn't work, it's like losing hope in a sense. And it's like, it's really questioning everything it is that you were doing and wondering if any of this was even worth it. Because with the Magician in the reverse, it's like, it's feeling very disempowered, like out of control of a situation. However, with that too, this would be more perceptive where, I don't know, this would look to me like something that didn't work, but it didn't work for your highest good, if that's making sense. And I know that that would probably be very hard to hear right now, Pisces. But with this Magician in the reverse, I'm not really seeing this as like, oh, you know, it's being manipulative. Nah, it's like I'm seeing it as having possibilities or strengths or options, resources that one isn't seeing or making use of, if that's making sense. So it's almost like taking action on something and it not being in the right direction and this not working out because it wasn't the right direction for you, if that's making sense. If I were to stick with this straight literal energy I was feeling in the beginning with this whole like money deal, it's more or less like a person mismanaging their finances and realizing coming into December how one has like overspent, you know what I mean? Like not being a good steward of your finances, if you will. It's just like spending money without even thinking about it, like swiping with a debit card type of deal. And now it's having to figure out how it is that you're going to make something happen. And God forbid, if this is like a situation where, I hope this is not like gambling, dude. because I can see that too. Like if somebody took a risk with money, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's like stocks or like a person took a risk with stocks or literally like gambling in the intention. Wow, because that is legit the same energy signature. Legit, the intention was to increase one's money, you know, and it's kind of like you followed the system properly, but somehow it ends up turning around where you end up losing far more than you expected. But it seemed like something where you couldn't lose at it, but you did. And now it's like trying to rethink everything because it's Christmas time. And, you know, God forbid, I hope this isn't something where somebody has like little kiddos and stuff. See, I was wondering where my after tarot was before I started this Pisces, because I felt in my spirit I was gonna have to end up clarifying for y'all. I was like, let me make sure this is over here. Because it's just this vibe. I feel it's like, this is a very strong energy signature that I'm seeing. But I can't really see it outside of the framework of this having something to do with finances, but it really feels like gambling. It's like counting your chickens before they hatch. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I feel the thing that's so ironic about it, why I understand it's like taking the wind out of someone's sails, because the vibe I feel with this is like, it was so sure, like it was a sure thing. It was very hard to not see how this could not work out. So it's like it not working out would kind of mess you up in the head because it's like a sure thing type of deal, you know? But I can't think of anything else other than financial risks that would really relate to this, unless, I mean, we were literally talking about a belief system. You know what I mean? If a person like, I don't know, if a person like had because it's like I'm thinking about like stuff with church, like if you, and that's usually younger people where this happens, where it's like, you know, people say like if you pray, God answers your prayers, and like you, like, I don't know, someone is sick and you pray for, you know, God to save the person, and then the person dies or something like that. I'm not literally seeing that, but that's the only other thing I could really see that relates to this, to where it would completely mess a person up, because it's like, I thought, like, you know, they said if I do this, then this will happen, and it didn't. And it's like, you can't make sense of that, because it's like the rules said if I do this, then I get this, or this will work out for me, and it didn't. I'm not sure what this is, but anywho, let me stop talking and clarify this and see what is going on. Ooh. Oh, 2 cards. Oh. Clarifying the Ace of Cups in the reverse is the Death card and the Hermit. And that's Virgo energy and Scorpio energy. Wow. Okay. So maybe for some of you guys, this actually was somebody passing away. Because it's like something ended, like I said, that you didn't expect. And it's like going into this deep introspection to try to find some type of rhyme or reason as to why it is that this happened, you know? And it's almost like like with this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, it's almost like a nest egg, a foundation, a family structure. Because I mean, this could literally be a family situation. I would want to see the 10 of Cups for that. But it's just something that held a lot of promise that fell through. But I just can't get out of the energy of this being finances, you know? But it's some level in this with this Eight of Pentacles being in this challenge position here. I'm going to clarify that too. But it's some level with that Eight of Pentacles and the reverse being in this challenge position of needing to recognize that, of one may approach this feeling as if that they did like A1, like dotting their T's, crossing their T's and dotting their I's. But it's like with that Eight of Pentacles in the reverse being in your challenge, it's saying that that's not necessarily the case here, you know, and it would be a need to recognize that. And the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse is challenged by the Ace of Wands. Well, see, that's kind of like what it is that I was feeling, though. It's like I feel whatever this is that ended. And I mean, if this literally is somebody passing away, of course, I'm not saying what I was saying before in reference to that, more or less that this is something that wasn't for you. Like if this is not dealing with a person actually passing away here, it's like this thing didn't work out, not because, you know, just bad stuff is happening to you. I just think that this was, what's the word I want to say? Do I want to say illusionary? It wasn't as good as it looked. So it's more or less missing out on this opportunity. So it seems is in your highest good, because now this allows this cycle that this opportunity, quote unquote, is related to, for that to end. And it's like it's a new opportunity that you guys are being offered. So I feel how you can be set up for the okie doke here, Pisces, is in the sense of if you guys are in like this kind of self-loathing, I wasted my time type of deal, it's like being in that vibration is taking you out of alignment. Like that would be the thing that's taking you out of alignment with this new opportunity that's being offered to you guys, with this one kind of wrapping up. And the thing is still with the whole money thing, I feel whatever connection it is that you had to this person, situation, circumstance, whatever this is more related to like a scarcity complex and like money type of stuff, as opposed to your passion. And I feel like the new opportunity that you're being offered is more in relation to what you actually care about and what you're actually passionate about. Because if this is talking about something with work, you know, like if you went up for a promotion and you didn't get it and you're beating yourself up about it because you did so much in order to get it, it's like you don't want to fall into this whole self-loathing, making your work all sloppy and stuff like that, and like not caring about what it is that you do, because that ends up putting you in a position to where you are taking yourself out of alignment with future opportunities. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, I get this whole oppressive vibe with this. I don't know, it's almost like a person who's desiring something that's oppressive. This is so interesting. It's like, don't dwell on this. That's the best thing I could say, Pisces. I mean, usually when readings come out like this and I'm like, I don't know what the heck we talking about, it's like usually the person who's listening, it makes more sense to the listener than it does to me, especially since I don't have no Pisces in my chart like that. I have no idea. Wow. And the freaking Hierophant again. And that's clarifying the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So here's the thing. It's almost like, dude, this is going to sound so strange. It's almost like this would be a Pisces person. And I just have to say it like this. That was proverbially in service to like two masters, right? And it's like two masters being, you know, should ought supposed to expectation type of stuff, you know, and like your truth in so many words. It's like what you actually value. Whatever this is not anything that I feel was of true value to Pisces in an authentic sense. It may be, in looking at the strength in the reverse too, it's like all of this would have to do with, if we were to say like animalistic instincts or human desires or your lower self. By lower self, it would mean the human body that you're in and everything related to 3D, right? So that would be more or less who it is that's influencing all of these decisions that you're making. Now, with whatever this is, with it dying or being over or losing your job or whatever the case may be, it's more or less, this is something that needed to end because you guys have been cultivating a life that was never intended to belong to you. So with the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse and you guys above energy, we're talking about you guys reevaluating for the purpose on how it is that you're going to use this very new, fresh energy with this Ace of Wands that's available to you. And this was in the collective reading. And if I were to put this within the framework of the collective reading, it would make perfect sense, because we're talking about you guys leaving behind in 2020 this thing that has been a blockade, that has been the source of your unhappiness, right? But it's almost like, and I liken it to like Stockholm syndrome. Like this is something that is parasitic, right? Something that is you living up to an expectation that you've been groomed or conditioned into perceiving to be the right thing, or, you know, what you're supposed to aspire to, but it's completely unfulfilling. So this wrapping up, this ending, it's like it's ending for your highest good. What you would want to be doing now is going deep within yourself to get clear on what it is that you've always wanted to do. Like another way I could put this, y'all, would be like a person who was working a job that they hated and you got fired. And now you have an opportunity to like start a business that you really love, or the company shut down or something, you know what I mean? It's like something scaled back with something you really weren't happy with. And as opposed to like being upset about it or making it about you or anything of the sort, it's like to do any of that would be completely missing the point. Because the truth of the matter is your heart really wasn't in it, or you really weren't making that much money, or you really weren't that invested into it. So it's almost like this oppressive force is being like washed away, in so many words. And you're being given an opportunity to take this little torch that you have here and to move forward into something that's more in alignment with your value system, like something that you actually really care about. But it's not being aware that what you've been doing, it's like, I think innately, you know, that what you've been doing doesn't allow you to use all of your gifts. It's like all of your gifts, your knowledge, your talents, your abilities, like a lot of stuff that you have going for you, what you've been doing up to this point puts you into a box. And I feel your heart really hasn't been in it because of that, because it's almost, and I've said something similar to this before, where it's almost like having a PhD and you're working in an entry-level position. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're well overqualified for this, and it's almost like killing your soul because you're not able to use all of the skill sets, gifts, and talents that you have, because this job is so far out of the realm of what it is that you are like trained or that you know how to innately do, you know? But it's almost like being upset and crying over spilled milk with something that was already very clear prior to it not being here, that it wasn't for you anyway, because it's not in alignment with your truth. Like this is so far removed from that. You know what I mean? So more or less what this would be saying to me, and I'm gonna clarify this here if I leave this alone, because I hope and pray that this is making sense. But it's more or less like crying over spilled milk with something that's really not even worth your time, that you never really wanted anyway. And I think if you really dug deep, it's like you would see that. So it's almost like, and this looks like a very Taurian type of thing. This is almost one of those things where spirit has spoke to you on several occasions to move forward and you still didn't, you know? And now it's like everything just has to come crumbling down and you have to be like thrown out for you to understand, like, this is not where you're supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like you don't have no choice but to move forward, you know? because there is nothing else to go back to. It's like that's a done deal, you know? I hope that that's making sense. Whoop. Clarifying, the Hierophant in the reverse is the 5 of Wands. So dude, legit, that is what we're saying here. This is more or less, that's my Petty LaBelle card, by the way. But this is more or less, it's time for you guys to stand in your power. It's like, the truth of the matter is, the reason why there's been so much chaos, confusion, and calamity in you guys' day-to-day experience for some time now is because you've been out of alignment with your truth, or your gifts, or your talents, or you've been working at a job that you know ain't right for you. You've been in a relationship that you know ain't right for you. So it's more or less, this is the divine trying to work with you to get you guys to finally take advantage, right, of your own masculine energy, like your own volition to go in the direction of what it is that you're actually passionate about. But like I said, it's like this really feels to me like a person who got stripped. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a negative stripped. But I feel that the Pisces person that resonates with this feels that way. It feels like you really lost something, but you really ain't lose much of nothing. It's like what it is that you lost is like, boo, come on, let's just be honest for 2.5 seconds, you know? But it's very much tied to, and that's why I think it's interesting. I don't know how all these readings coming out like this, because I'm hearing a scripture in my head now. Like, and I'm probably gonna say it wrong. You can't serve both God and mammon. And mammon is like, you know, money. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that money is literally the root of all evil, because that's just a complete mistranslation of what that means. You know what I'm saying? But it's more or less like how I said, like, you know, serving two masters. It's like, that's literally what it's like. It's like a Pisces person. Wow. And then y'all are a dual sign. So it's like masculine, feminine. This could get deep on so many levels, Pisces. If we were literally to break this down, and then I'm looking at even with the magician, dude, the magician, it's like if we were to talk about like Jungerian archetypes, that's like animus, right? Which is like the male archetype. So that's like masculine energy, you know what I'm saying? So literally, and even looking at the strength being at the bottom, this is really extra deep here. This would almost be a forsaking, not in totality. This would be like a forsaking of idolizing masculine energy. And I'm not saying that with people with penises. I'm talking about like divine masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? Like yin and yang type of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's more or less that one has forsaken the divine feminine energy, right? So one's connection with spirit, you know, like your inner emotional world, that's been forsaken up to this time for the external. So the lower self, the human self, right? And one has been living in accordance with that and making the human experience one's false idol. But like I say many times, everything in 3D is in the process of dying or it's already dead. Hence the death card. So that means that the thing that one is idolizing, putting on a pedestal, worshiping, and fashioning their lives in accordance with is death. Dying and death, right? However, with this opportunity, with this loss or whatever it is that didn't work out, it offered an opportunity for clarity, for you guys to see the truth of the situation. If you don't see that, this is more or less a heads up of what this is about. You know what I'm saying? This is like a freaking full-on transformation on some stuff with someone. And it's giving this person an opportunity to ascend to a higher level of consciousness and to serve, proverbially speaking, the proper master and to stand in your power. Because it's more or less, this would be a person who was oppressed by only identifying with their humanity. By only identifying with your humanity, the only thing that you can see is your fallacies and faults and limitations and what your history says and what society says that you can be or you can't be, and other people outside of yourself telling you what the potential and possibilities are for your life. Thus, the reason why one feels that what they have to offer or what's available to them is far less than what I'm seeing. It's like it's very limited, right? But the whole purpose of this experience was to give this inspiration to drive you within, for you to reevaluate how it is that you've been living your life, what you've been investing in, what you've been working towards, and what it is that you ultimately want. And it's showing you a contrast between these two extremes. So to me, this would be like a full-on transformation of a person. However, the beautiful thing is, with you guys' energy going forward with the Hierophant in the reverse and the Five of Wands, what this is more or less telling me, my Pisces people are in like a molting period in the month of December. However, it's like you guys have the potential, if you choose to do so, to walk out of this more in alignment with who it is that you really are. Because it's like it's coming into December as the false self, and y'all could be in a proverbial little dark night of the soul right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's coming out completely renewed. It's like with a whole nother perspective on life. And it's getting reacquainted to that divine feminine energy, which is one's inner self, emotional realm, your direct connection to spirit. So this to me would be like a restoration of a person's connection with spirit, or a person who's ascending to higher consciousness for the first time. I mean, not in totality, but I mean, it's like waking up out of 3D and being like, oh my gosh, I'm more than like a body. You know what I'm saying? And that's interesting. I think it's dope. But that's legit what it is that I'm seeing here, dude. It's like a person who has either been like ambivalent on the fence, or a person who just has been completely blind up to this point. And it's like getting that first taste of what it is that we're really all doing here, you know? I hope that makes sense. These readings have been so interesting for December. I can't even find words for it. I really can't. I don't know. I'm speechless. Y'all let me know in the comments. I hope this makes sense. I love you, Pisces. I'm going over to Vimeo, my website, and YouTube members. How long have I been recording this reading? And YouTube members, and do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If not, I still love your freaking face. And I will see you guys sooner than later. This is interesting.